Hello there, students. Welcome back. So now we're going to finally start moving into Excel coding. Basically, here's what the end result is going to look like. I got this assignment directly out of a workbook, but here's what we got here. So we got these numbers, and of course, let's just assume I were to, change something. So watch this number down here. So let's just say I make this a 2. Now you see how it changed? I'll just undo that. And now it's back up to where it was. And the same is going to be said for this one, and all these guys over here. So if I were to change this guy, this 170 down here should move, and this 42 whatever will also move. So let me just make this a 0. See that 0, that 0? Yeah, we are going to completely have things change based on the coding for this. So, how are we going to wind up doing that? Well, first off, let's just go make ourselves a new file here, and I'll just make it from scratch. So I'm going to move this one off to the side, and I will just shrink this guy in some so we can see it. Let's add get to a 125 zoom. There we go. So first things first. Besides, let's make it look good. Obviously, Texas Spectrum Wireless. Well, merge a couple of cells together and, make it maybe a little bit bigger, bolder, underline it. There we go. And now, of course, we have ourselves, maybe we want this on the left-hand side. Left-hand side, there it goes. So I'll go and I'll make myself some, headsets, some categories, cases, car kits, batteries. By the way, if anyone is wondering what it is that I use, what book I use for these assignments, I showed you in class on the second week, remember? So the point of today is to basically learn these different types of formulas, and we'll get into the tax and the total this way in a bit. So I'm just gonna, make that. Tell you what, let's give ourselves a border on the left-hand side. Let's give ourselves a border on the top. Let's make you bold as well, because you're going to be a big important thing. So let's just make you bold as well, just to get this going. And I'll, maybe make this fill color that. Maybe make this a fill color that. And you guys will be... Yeah, I'll make you guys that yellow, and I'll make you guys this yellow as well. Okay, cool. So now we've got ourselves our general look of how this is going to be. So we'll just type in the numbers. Oh, and by the way, we should probably, if we're doing numbers, we should probably, put this either in currency or accounting format. I'm just going to go with currency, just because it'll be easiest. So let's see here. What were the numbers? It was 47991.12. And of course it'll auto change. So 19725.00. 40408.67. And 62154.28. There we go. So there's all our numbers. And I'm just going to stretch it out just a little bit just so everyone can kind of see. There we go. So there we go. We got ourselves our numbers. And you know what? I'm just going to right-click and I'm just going to copy them. And I'm going to paste them down here. And I'm going to paste them down here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these numbers, and we're going to use them 3 different ways. Oops. Let's take off some of those borders here. No borders. Of course, that'll take off the top, so we'll just have to add ourselves back a top border. That's okay. There we go. So I've copy and pasted, I've made my numbers. So, what we're doing here is we're checking to see how it is you're going to add all these numbers together. And there's really 3 separate ways to do this. The first way is we do an equal sign. Okay, because in Excel, all expressions begin with an equal sign. Okay? So we're equaling, and And what cell are we picking? Okay, well, we're picking C6, right? Because it's C6. So I can just do equal C6 plus, and you see how it has a little block around it now? It remembered that line. Plus C7, and you see, look, it's even color coding it. So this one's red, and it has a red right there. This one's blue, has a blue right there. You know, I can also do plus, and I can just start clicking as well. Click, plus, click, and then I hit the enter button, and it does it automatically. I did not have to type in the 170,000. It did it automatically. It is an equation. If I highlight this, it's even telling me which ones I have in my equation. So you see, it's this one, this one, this one, and this one. And if I were to change it, and you know, click outside here instead, oh, okay, it's not going to make me do that. So if I were to just go and double click in here and say highlight this guy and go, I want that guy instead, now it's moved over to E7, but I don't want to be at E7. But also at the same time, because it's an equation, it's going to automatically do this all the time. So what happens if you, say, have yourself in a program and it's like, oh, wait a minute, that wasn't a 47, that was actually a 27. Well, you would have to go in and have to manually change every single thing, right? Wrong. It automatically changed. Now instead of 170, it's 150. So, would you like to just change the number once and have everything related to that number automatically change with you? Or would you like to just have to manually change it every single time? I would just like it to change it once and have everything else auto-update. So that's one way to do it, with the equals C6 plus C7 plus C8 plus C9. That's one way to do it. Here's a different way to do it. We're going to start with equal, but this time we're going to go sum. So what's a sum? A sum is an addition problem, right? The sum of two numbers. So I can just do, and it even says right here, number 1, comma, number 2, comma, etc., etc. So I can do that again. So where am I? I'm at D6. So D6, comma, okay, D7, comma, and of course I can start clicking D8, comma, D9, end parentheses, enter, and it does the same thing. So if I change this and go and say, change that to a 20, it changes it to 150. So that's one way to do it. But of course, once again, we're typing in each thing individually, which, you know, that's also well and good. It's easy. You can figure it out. But how about we just only do the start point and the end point and not even care about the rest? Once again, I'm going to equal sum. But this time, instead of doing commas, I'm just going to click the first one. Then I'm going to put a colon. So it's shift, colon. So you see you got the two dots. I don't want a semicolon. Semicolon's not going to get you the right thing. We need a colon. So there's our start point, and now there's our end point. And now you see it highlighted the entire thing from here to here and everything in between. Close it out, and it works. It does the same thing. I change this guy and make him a 20. Whoops. I change this guy and make him a 20 and then hit enter. And look, it changes back to a 150. I go back here. It's now back to 170. It automatically did it. It did everything for us. So, now that we have the three different ways, and you look up here, you'll even see there's three different ways. So one way up there, another way up there, another way up there. We now have three different ways that we can automatically update numbers just by using an equation. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to show you a way to make some taxes. So I'm going to just flat out put right here, I'm going to do this the wrong way first. And then I'll do it the correct way second. Okay? So obviously we got ourselves a total. So what's this tax going to be? Well, first off, it's going to wind up being a percentage, right? So I'm just going to make this 3. 3%, 3%. And you know what? Just for giggles, I will make these 5 and 6. So we got a 3% tax on all this, right? So obviously, we're just going to stay with these numbers right over here. They're all the same number, but that's okay. So I'm going to make myself an equation. I'm going to go with equals this guy, and then of course times it by this guy, right? Boom, there we go, and that's 3%. So, obviously the tax is, oh, wait a minute, why is this number right here smaller than this number? So what I did by simply saying this times that is I multiplied this number by 3%. So I got myself 3%. 3% of 47,000, well, 48,000 if we round up, is about 1,400 something. Okay, so that's what 3% is. But do I want 3%? No. I want myself a total. So I need to add this 3% to the original number. So let's do it again here. This time we're going to do it correctly. So I'm going to go equals that, times that. But here's the thing. I'm going to put this in parentheses because now I have to do something to it, right? I have found 3%. I know I'm going to get 3%, but now I have to add it back to the original number, right? So that times that plus my original number. And now, okay, 19,000 plus 3% equals 20,000. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? So let's just do the same thing here, equals, tell you what, let's actually put the parentheses in there. That plus, that times that, close parentheses, plus that equals, enter. Now if I have to type it in manually or whatnot, I'll go equals, parentheses, okay, where am I in? I'm in E9 times F9, and then plus E9. I can enter it manually as well if I need to. Hit enter, boom. 62 plus 6% is 65. So there we go. We got ourselves a working tax as well. Now, could we have perhaps, maybe had this little thing that's only 3% so we figure out what the tax is and then just add this and this one together in a separate equation? Yeah, you could, but that's going to add more distance along on this path and whatnot. We don't necessarily need to do that. So once you have it working like this and everything is fine, save it, submit it through Moodle, and you can go on to the next assignment.